We'll start off recapping the different authors and the thoughts they had on abortion. Talk about Thompson. She makes a lot of analogies: the violinist, the growing baby, people seeds, burglar, Henry Fonda. And what she does is she makes a distinction between being unjust and indecent. And she claims that many abortions are indecent but not unjust. She argues that the right to life doesn't mean everyone else has the obligation to keep that person alive at any cost, and that's the Henry Fonda analogy. Little continues Thompson's line of thinking and states that, but she takes it a step further and states that no early term abortion is ever unjust, just indecent. Claims that because UDHs need a mother to survive, this makes them different than adults, and that a mother is under no obligation to continue a pregnancy. She uses three analogies to play these out. Somebody in an arranged marriage, someone having sex with a soldier going off to war, and a soldier falling on a grenade to save their comrades. These are all noble things and maybe the right thing or decent things, but they are never unjust if you choose not to do them. Noonan talks about that due to a high probability of the UDH becoming a human and developing autonomy, that the UDH should have most of the rights afforded a person. And he argues that abortions, in all cases that are not necessary to save the life of the mother, are morally wrong. Callahan believes that widespread abortion is inconsistent with maternal thinking, and basically this is the basis of feminist care ethics. She states that the power a mother exerts over a UDH is very similar to the power that men have traditionally exerted over women, and she compares the struggle of a UDH to get equality and have rights with the struggle that women have faced historically. Hursthouse defends virtue ethics and virtue ethics ability to contribute to the discussion. She says that abortion should always be taken seriously, and it's very immature to do otherwise. And she also argues that parenting is an intrinsically valuable human experience, and that avoiding this is childish and short-sighted. Lingerak talks about, he says that he represents the moderate view, and that abortions are more difficult to justify over the course of the development. His 4 stages of development are implantation, quickening, viability, and birth, and he believes that abortions are wrong once they hit the viability stage, which is when a UDH is capable of living outside the womb with medical care. Singer and Wells believe that ectogenesis would do a lot more good than harm for women. They believe that it could lead to the liberation of women, and they think that the traditional debate about abortion could be ended by ectogenesis. Compromise in which women wouldn't have to remain pregnant, but UDHs would not also have to be terminated. Sandra Strout claims that she examines the topic of abortion from different feminist perspectives. The positives, she states, are that it empowers women to have children who otherwise couldn't, and it possibly would free women from the burdens of pregnancy. The negative she looks at is that it undermines the social value of being a mother, and that it could possibly harm the physical and mental health of the UDH. She believes it should be used for therapeutic reasons only. I'm going to say that after looking at all the evidence and reading all the people's arguments and different things, that I am against ectogenesis. There are a few reasons why I'm going to lay them out. The first is that I believe that traditional pregnancies, not ectogenesis, are very important for both child and parents. It's important for the children's development and for the parents to have a rich, meaningful life, as Hursthouse claimed. I believe it's important for family life in general. The family unit's a very important part of society, and raising a child together is the best choice when available, and that includes pregnancy and birth. I think there's a risk, societal risk to parents. I don't believe it's healthy to over-homogenize the genders and say that there are no differences between men and women. And I believe being a mother is considered an important part of a woman's life experiences, and that carrying and birthing a child is a very enriching and beautiful experience if a woman can go through that, or if a woman can experience that. And also there's a point that some would argue that if parenting or motherhood or birthing a child is taken away from women, there are some sexist men that would think that that's the only thing that's unique to them, and that they therefore don't contribute to society near as much. I believe that there are unknown risks for growing a child outside the womb, We don't know the effects on the UDH, both physically and biologically. We don't know the effects on the mothers. Maybe it's an essential interaction for both sides. Science has so far shown that touch and sound from the mother are essential, and they help develop the unborn child growing in the mother. So there's more we need to find out about that interaction between mother and child. We need more connection as a society, not less. Society is trending towards a very impersonal approach. We text instead of call. There's online dating, online shopping, online job applications. A lot of things we used to do in person, now we do online or through our technology. I don't think it's a good idea to add childbirth to this list of activities that we have made less personal. One last concern that wasn't added or wasn't discussed in any of the reading is a logistical problem, as in who takes care of UDHs that are raised via ectogenesis. We are already short on good foster parents, good foster home placement. Where are all these children? What situation are these children going to be raised in? One argument against my argument, I guess, could be that maybe that would be stuck following age-old traditions and concepts, that society is ever evolving, and so should pregnancy and childbirth, and that ectogenesis would help people who otherwise cannot have children, or UDHs that would be otherwise terminated. And I agree that these are good points. And there are some good things that can be done with ectogenesis. I originally thought that was a great idea. I thought that's the side I would pick, that I would be for ectogenesis, because like Singer and Wells said, it could end the debate that seems to be going back and forth, the never-ending debate. But overall, I believe that is the wrong direction to head. That we can't have technological and scientific approaches to everything. That they can't solve all of our problems, and that we're going in the wrong direction to try to control the outcome of all of our actions and defy nature. Sometimes, a lot of times actually, the unintended consequences can be more than we bargained for. And I would argue in this situation that they are, and that they would cause eventually, the harm that's caused eventually would outweigh the good. And I'm going to leave on a quote that kind of sums up my feelings. It's from Dr. Ian Malcolm, and it says, "Your scientists were so preoccupied with whether they could that they didn't stop to think if they should."